one thing I want to get into is the teaching of soulmates. A lot of people got the idea messed up. Um, from what I was taught from listening somewhere, is that there's 7 women for 1 man. And the first 5 are for certain, you could say, soul level types. And the last 2, which of course there's an idea of a soulmate, but from what I learned from what's said of Kabbalistic sources is that there's really one true soulmate, the actual soulmate, and there's one that's the opposer. So when it speaks about soulmate, your soulmate, which by the way the Torah says finding your soulmate is as hard as the miracle of the splitting of the sea. That's what it takes. And basically there's the opposer, which does bad things to you and is in opposition to you. So basically nobody else becomes an opposition to you, teaches you very rough emotional lessons in life until you decide to change yourself. And also the opposer could change your nature and become a helper. So there's the opposer and the helper soulmate. And the helper soulmate is actually what the Torah refers to as your soulmate. And she too can turn into an opposer. Then again, she can give opposing lessons too. So they definitely have the choice of, good and bad. Even the helper soulmate, even your soulmate. Kabbalah also speaks about such a thing as a soulmate straying from her soulmate. So she could be an unworthy woman and constantly straying from whoever her soulmate is for whatever reason. And also, if let's say a man missed his, let's say a man let someone else have her. So the next thing for a man to marry is the one on his level. So it could be a woman who's not even his soulmate. So there is such a thing as what the Torah teaches is marrying someone on his level. And there's also something else that's really interesting is that let's say a man gave up his soulmate or whatever reason he's not with her. She's married, let's say, to somebody else, God forbid. So basically, let's say he finds a nice woman, and if he's worthy, says the Torah, this is from mystical teachings, Kabbalistic teachings, that right at the wedding, right when he marries her, the very moment he marries her, that God could do something that's called a switching of the souls, or God from heaven could bring down 2 different souls and, so to speak, bind them to one another, so it becomes a soulmate. So everybody's happy. So that's the whole idea of soulmates. And the basic point to this is whatever affects a man affects his soulmate. Whatever affects his soulmate affects him too. So that's the important idea to remember, is when you're dealing with soulmates, you really should give it all you got. So if she messes up and it becomes unhealthy for you to be with her, and you tried your best to change her or whatever, you don't lose out, really. There's also a little concept of, in the Torah, which happened one time, as spiritual soulmates in the spirit, for the spiritual world. Now, this only happened with Jacob and Leah from the Bible. And basically Rachel was Jacob's soulmate for the physical world, and Leah was Esau's soulmate. And she didn't want to be with him. She prayed to God basically every day, cried her tears out. So that's the story of that. And Jacob, who received the name Israel afterwards for his spiritual mission with his descendants. Leah is known as a spiritual soulmate for the spiritual world, for the heavenly world, you can say. I mean, when God created the world, it was spiritual. When Adam ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that brought death into the world, and everything became physical. So that's that. 3 things that the Torah speaks of how you could tell who your soulmate is. 1, attraction. 2, having similar goals in life. Similar goals in life. Doesn't have to be exactly the same. Could be more of a feminine version of goals in life, but there's similar goals in life. And another good clue that Kabbalah teaches is when you talk about the future to your soulmate, you feel excitement. And there's also something else that people need to know, is that Kabbalah teaches, which is a part of the Torah, that if a man or a woman basically has sexual relations with a woman or a man who's not the soulmate, that could basically cloud up the vision to knowing who your soulmate is. Because the Torah teaches, once you meet your soulmate, you see her, and you look her into the eyes, and she looks you into the eyes, you get a snap, like a click on the inside of your souls, you know. And by the way, when soulmates marry, soul comes together, becomes one. So that's that. And oh yeah, there's also something else. When a man wastes a seed, for example, right? It says in Kabbalah that, talking about wasting, not spilling to prevent forbidden relations, which is something in Kabbalah that actually says a man is allowed to do that if it prevents forbidden relations, by the way. Whatever. So, if a man, let's say, wastes his seed, it says he'll approach her and she'll resist him. Maybe for the first time, who knows? I don't know. But that's the thing. And let's say if a man messed up and had relations with whoever wasn't his soulmate, and it clouds up the vision in between the two. So that basically requires rectification, repentance maybe, you know, a change from the heart, I guess. And that's that. And the union of soulmates is a very powerful thing because it's so good and it's so positive to the whole world and to everybody. There's so much negativity and bad people, bad-meaning people, that basically project such negative energy onto you. Negative energy when 2 soulmates meet and try to, you know, get together, get married, anything they do. So much negativity to go through before they actually get married usually, you know. So that's something that needs to be overcome. And you have all kinds of problems, all kinds of nervousness. You feel like you're going to die when you're at your wedding. That's how nervous people feel. But once the smoke is cleared and you overcame, that's your title. And the main idea is, like, when a woman is worthy, Torah says she's the crown on her husband's head. When the wife is worthy, that is. Pardon me. So if she is unworthy, Torah says he will rule her. Now the question is, how will he rule her? For the good or for the wrong side? So yeah, this is basically a good lesson on what soulmates are. I mean, this is the tip of the iceberg, really. So that's that.